Yo, I don't know. 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot. But yeah, I'll give you those ones for now. Phew, 10. Phew. Hi there, Laylow here with part 3 of the question and answers. Once again, thank you for those who have subscribed and submitted their questions. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. Do enjoy the video. I'd say both, because you get people like me who are born with the talent, and then you get people who actually learn the skill in school. That's why you have schools like National School of Arts and TUT Arts Campus. They actually teach you the fundamentals of drawing. But these fundamentals, we already have people that sort of know these things from, I would say, birth. Because like for me, I've been drawing since I was like, 6 or 7. And yeah, I didn't particularly need a school to teach me how to draw. I just needed a school that will teach me the theory, fundamentals behind drawing, so that I understand what exactly I am doing. So yes, it can be both. It can be both a talent and a skill. It's okay. It's okay. It has its ups and downs, more downs than ups. But I don't think I would have learned the things that I know now. I don't think I would have learned them if I was still an employee. I mean, yes, being an employee, it has its benefits, but if you want to move from being an employee to being a business owner, which is where I'm currently moving towards, you're not going to learn much from just being an employee. You kind of have to get into the waters of being a freelancer and start looking at how people do business and which clients to start going for and all those sort of stuff. You wouldn't learn from being a client. I mean, not a client, from being an employee. So yes, it has its ups and downs, but it's worth it. I would, provided that they also want to grow from being an employee to being a business owner. So there's a transition. You go from employee to being a specialist, to being a freelancer, to being a business owner, then an entrepreneur. So for the process, I'd say yes. Yes, I would advise someone to go into freelancing so that you get familiar with the process of having to now do business for yourself. But if you just want to be an employee and you're happy with just being an employee, like the CEO of whatever company, go ahead and do that. But if you want to own your own company, then yes, you have to go past being a freelancer. A lot of animation. And I'm not saying this because I'm not an animator, I'm an illustrator. I'm not an animator yet. But yes, there's a whole lot of animation that is going to be required from graphic designers, because still images don't satisfy clients anymore. That's why if you look, posters are dying out. Nobody wants a poster anymore. Nobody wants a print out invitation anymore. They want videos. What does that say? You need to do motion graphics quite a lot. So the biggest one I can say, animation. So as a graphic designer, I'd say teach yourself to animate. Teach yourself to code, because also IT is starting to work its way into graphic design, where companies are no longer looking to hire both a graphic designer and an IT person. They're looking for a graphic designer that can code websites. Then that's two different fields. So graphic designers, you're going to have to learn IT. IT people, you're going to have to learn graphic designs, because one of the two is going to die out. Depends on the car and depends on what I'm looking for at that moment. I'm not a person who's tied to a specific brand when it comes to cars, because each car for me has a purpose. For example, if I want instantaneous acceleration, I'd go with BMW. But if I want comfort and class, I'd go with Mercedes. So yeah, it depends on the car. I like cars from both sides, but yeah, one or the other depending on the purpose. Depends on the year and the purpose. Because for car phonetics, if you remember, from 2009 until 2012, BMW was dominating. It was the best, like BMWs were the best in their classes. I'll give you an example. Your E92 M3, that was the best in its class. Your E60, that was also the best in its class around that time. And it dominated up until 2012, where Mercedes responded with the E63 of that time. And from then on, Mercedes started dominating up until 2015. That's where the facelifts came, and then Audi started dominating from that point. That's where you have your RS7s, the most brutal Grand Coupe I've ever come across was the RS7. And then you had your RS6 and your RS4s and your RS5s, everything at a V8. And then came this weird era around 2017 where Audi decided that we're gonna do away with the V8s, and then actually both Audi and BMW decided we're no longer gonna do V8s, we're gonna do V6s. So they started lacking in sound, but Mercedes kept the V8. Hence the Mercedes was winning when it comes to sound around that time. So technology, yes, Audi's dominating. I'd go with Audi RS any day for technology. For speed, I'd go with BMW M back in 2009. Any BMW from 2009, I'm a fan of that. And for sound, any AMG. For sound and comfort. For me, that was like, yeah, the most comfortable sports car you can buy. Top 5 hip-hop artists. Okay, the number one spot is currently being contended because my number one hip-hop artist was Kendrick because he's a poet through and through. But recently, J. Cole has been making moves. So it used to be Kendrick, then J. Cole. But now it's slowly becoming J. Cole, then Kendrick. So yeah, first two, J. Cole, Kendrick. Jimmy Landrose, he's one of the guys I discovered recently. Yeah, no, the guy is lit. The guy is lit. Check him out if you can. Okay, this one is a friend of mine. You know what? I'll put him at the bottom. So Jimmy Landrose, then Nasty C, and then King Lutendo. Although he's a friend of mine, but I like the music he makes. It's different. Often when people make songs that are like not what you used to, you cringe and you're kind of skeptical about it at first. But the way he makes music, you're like, oh, okay, I could vibe with this. I could definitely vibe with this. So yeah, I'd say J. Cole, Kendrick, Jimmy Landrose, Nasty C, King Lou. Number 5 would have to be the McLaren P1. Not because of the car. The car is amazing. The car is perfect. The car is... I love the car. But I'm not a fan of McLaren, the brand. I mean, I think the P1 is the only McLaren I'd ever buy if I had the money. Yeah, so McLaren is number 5. Number 4 would be Ferrari Portofino. I like the way the Portofino looks. It's not the fastest, it's not the sexiest, but it's probably the sexiest Ferrari you can buy. All you love Ferrari fans can go watch something else. It's fine. Number 3 would be the Mercedes SLS AMG. I love the gull wing doors and I love the sound. It's one of those cars that, should I be able to make that kind of money, I'd buy it. Even if it's a classic, I'd still buy it. Number 2 would have to be the Lamborghini Aventador S. I would like the SV, but the SV is too race car for me, so I prefer the S. The S has a bit of comfort to it. And also the reason why it's number 2 is because, in my opinion, it's one of the sexiest cars ever. Number 1 is the sexiest car ever, but number 2 would have to be Lamborghini. Number 1, I'll go with Bugatti Chiron. That, to me, is the sexiest supercar you can ever find. The most well-built supercar I have ever come across. And I'm not even talking about the Super Sport or the one with, I think, 1,600 horsepower. I don't care about that. Just the Chiron, the way it looks is amazing. So yeah, those are the top 5. I would go with VW. The way VW is doing business, they're winning. Yeah, not because of their cars, just the way they do business. I mean, today, they own Bentley, they own Bugatti, they own Audi, they own Porsche. So VW, their cars are arguably good, arguably. You get people who disagree, you get people that agree. So their cars are not necessarily the best, but the way they do business, they've been winning. They have been winning. So yeah, I'll go with that one. There's a lot. Range Rover is updating their Range Rover Sport. VW, I think VW has updated all the cars they want to update. The new Tiguan is due. They have the new Arteon. They have the new Golf 8. A lot of people know about that one already. So yeah, VW already has its updates set up. Mercedes is also working on a few updates. They're currently finishing off the S-Class. They're also finishing off the C-Class. They're going to debut that as well. And also, I think the SL. BMW is currently finishing off their M4 and M3. M3 has also come with a Touring, which is your estate. Depends on the game. Remember I told you, you can't put me in a box. Can't put me in a box. Depends on the game. I'm a big fan of Forza. It's one of the games I've been playing a lot lately. Forza Horizon 4. You can't find Forza on PS, unfortunately. As much as people want to be fans of PlayStation, you can't find Forza on PlayStation. You can't find God of War on Xbox, because I could see your Xbox fans were starting to celebrate. You can't find God of War on Xbox, unfortunately. So it depends on the game. If I had the money, I'd buy both consoles. I'd buy both PlayStation and Xbox, because there's certain games I like to play that you can only find on Xbox and can't find on PS, and also vice versa. So both, depending on the game. This is going to be a strange one, but yeah, Akuma. Yeah, Akuma the demon. And I'm very specific to say the demon, because I know people think I'm going to go with Ryu or Ken. Nah, fam, I'm going with the demon. I want the demon. Yeah, Akuma, because he is very... As much as he's a villain, he's very respectful. One story I remember, there's this old martial artist that had cancer. Akuma refused to fight him because that would be an easy win. Imagine that. And also with Ryu, because his story ties in with Ryu. And the one time Ryu shows up to him and starts demanding to fight with him, but Akuma says, "You're still young and inexperienced. Go train, and once you're strong enough, come back and we'll definitely fight." So I love that about him. He knows his limits. He's not limited to try and test things. He would challenge the strongest fighter ever to test his limits. But also he knows who he can win against, and he won't fight against them if he knows he's gonna win. So yeah, basically he loves a challenge. That's why I like him. He loves a challenge. And also, if you come across him in Street Fighter, he will show you a challenge. He doesn't play that guy. Yo, 10 is a lot. Okay, the first three are like my main superheroes. Batman, Black Panther, and Iron Man. And from there, Wolverine, Hulk, Captain America, Winter Soldier, yo, I don't know. 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot. But yeah, I'll give you those ones for now. Phew, 10. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, would you be so kind and click on the like button? And as always, your time and attention is greatly appreciated. Until the next one, love and peace.